I was like, what's the difference between me liking and then not liking the picture if I just see it? Like I could, she was like, oh, like it just feels like you really like it. Like, and you really like that picture. I'm like, bro, like I could,
Like you double tapped 5 times.
bro, she literally,
Like thinking while we were talking about like social media and how it affects us as a society and what personally like what we do, how can social media affect your relationships?
Uh, fast forward. The Lakers win the series, and now Memphis literally says
put
we
out
will
a
not be signing Dylan Brooks under any circumstances. We will not
yes,
be,
to
of
check out Jay Tremendous as well. This guy is
course.
a beautiful singer. He's very special to
Thank you, thank
me,
you.
and I hope you guys listen to him. And thank you,
Got some
Jared,
new stuff coming out.
for putting out so much music
Mhm.
out there, and so consistently.
Oh,
Is it
Uh,
Baby, just vibe with me. Yeah. Baby, just vibe with me. Baby, just vibe with me.
what do you call what do you call a rough housing gentleman?
what?
I'm asking you if he's a gentleman. Why is he rough housing?
I mean, no, you're right. You're right. It's a bit contradictory, but gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, that was all right.
We can we can continue.
Yeah.
That was just bad jokes. Trick
Like,
bag.
you did not. You did not. You did not. I swear to God. I swear. Take the
Trick
mic
bag.
back.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the podcast where you get to tune in and get a glimpse of the guys. My name's Luciano,
Jared.
And your boy Miller.
and we are GG Podcast. And we have finally hit 100 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for that
Very
milestone.
That's
It
tough.
might be minute to all of you guys, but out there with all our hard work, it's fantastic. You know, it's good little milestone of ours, and still gonna get bigger and better. And unfortunately, Tyler couldn't make it. He had some issues with school and stuff like that, so he had to take a little day off from that. But anyways, let's just get on to the podcast. We have one
Let's get into it.
topic that we shall get into, and it's more about social media nowadays and what we kind of perceive it in some manner. I know Miller and I have talked about it while you were out for a bit, Jared, there, with your technical
What was it?
difficulties that you always
Yeah.
happen to have every single time we have a podcast.
Even at 100 subscribers, like when will you learn?
No,
1,000?
God
A million?
throws the hardest obstacles at the strongest people. That's all you gotta say.
That
And
was so
if you
that
don't
was so
get
good.
over that adversity
every
after
episode.
6 to 8 months, then it's a problem. Then God's telling you, like, you need a, like, the
Give up.
definition of insanity is to do something over and over again, expecting a different result. You know what I mean? Like,
It's just every time. Like,
some hidden
literally.
cues.
It's like me being anxious that it might not work. It might work, but it might not work beforehand. And I
You're just,
think,
like,
oh
coming
yeah,
in,
it
you're like,
works. And then it doesn't work. And it's just like,
yeah,
So
I know, it's fun.
But yeah, back to the question.
Social media.
How does social media affect you guys?
Was talking about my experience with like social media, and like I remember, we've kind of grown up in the age of like, the new iPhones and like these like bigger social media platforms after Facebook, like Instagram, Twitter, and like Snapchat. And I remember using them like quite often, and like, when you're in high school too, and like in middle school probably, like you're just kind of in that little bubble of school, you know what I mean? Like you don't really know what the outside world is like, so you kind of just like you just ripping the social media of like the people around you low key. But then also at the same time, like there's other things that me and Luch were talking about. We'll get into in a sec, but like talking about like the effects of, maybe body dysmorphia and like, success. We've talked about it a little bit before, like, the age of like being successful and like how to go about, living your life in like the quote unquote like best means necessary, you know what I mean? But I mean, just in my experience, like I thought it was cool before, but now like I don't know, I've been recently like just more away from it, a little bit more detached from social media. I don't really care for it as much. And like, I don't know, I don't like getting more involved, I guess. Like I like passively scrolling sometimes, don't get it twisted, but like social media is not a big deal to me, so like I'm just not always on top of it. But there's other aspects that are, I don't know,
Good for
good
it.
and bad
Yeah, for
about it.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
there's always like good and bad, I think,
Mhm.
with social media. Like, for example, you were saying you're not, on social media as much and stuff and kind of more detached in a way. And I think personally that's fantastic because it's like you're not really so just involved, like so imprinted on like your phone like as much. Like you're not like worrying about all these things going on in the world,
Mhm.
you just focus on your own lifestyle, your own thing in it. I feel like that's pretty cool, honestly. That's really nice. But also it does
It
help.
hurts sometimes.
It helps a lot to get yourself out there in some
Yeah.
manner and take different routes with social media into maybe a business way
Personal brand.
or personal growth, or it can go either way, honestly. Like I feel like there should be like a balance in some way, where
Yeah.
you're not too stuck on it. You shouldn't worry about it too much and shouldn't worry about what other people say and shit like that. But also, it can help you in your future if you use it the right way. And if you don't want to use it and you got your own life, you got a job, everything's going well for you, you don't need it whatsoever. You got your boot thing, you got everything going on.
Yeah.
I mean, that's perfect too. That's a
Yeah.
great life.
I like that though. I think like having the balance is the right way to go about it because like I mean obviously like we're talking about like I was saying earlier, like I definitely want to be more active on social media and like but just being more active, you know what I mean? Like maybe not caring about it, like still like having like a very like rational thought about it, but like definitely just being more active. And like that's the part where I'm like, that's the kind of like balance part that you're talking about, which I'm like trying to improve on, like, in
Yeah.
that aspect. But it also is like, I don't know, it's a little bit different. You know what I mean? Like I think but I don't know. I was gonna say a couple things, but I like the whole point of you saying like there's a lot of avenues, there's a lot of ways you can go about it. So I do like there is a lot of potential upscale for it. Yeah.
I think that it's great for connections. Like if we used
Mm.
it for connections when we first started, I feel like it would be a lot more um directional when we're using it and like have more of a purpose. I feel like right now we have a good purpose because we're trying to expand and connect with as many people as possible. But I feel like a lot of times when we first start out, like as children or like teens, it's more based off of like trying to impress everyone else because they see like how um how do they make it seem like their fake reality is real when it's really not. It's just over a screen and like everything's edited. And so that kind of puts like this mindset, especially in like teenagers, like that. I feel like that's where the negative connotation comes from social media.
Yeah.
Like you kind of have to impress everyone else in order to be considered cool or verified. You know what I mean?
Mm.
But if you're using it for like purposes to like connect and shit, then obviously it's a wonderful place when you know how to use it.
It's a great
Hmm.
tool.
And
Yeah.
honestly, I find myself more on LinkedIn now too, like trying to connect with other people on LinkedIn.
That was
Um,
really good thing.
because it's just easier to connect like that. It's a lot
Yeah.
less it's definitely a lot less fun than like Instagram and Snapchat and everything like that. But it's also a lot less pressure to not to like portray this type of image like a standard almost on Instagram. Like you can be more of yourself like when I'm on LinkedIn and shit. But I try to be myself on Instagram as well.
Yeah. No, I respect that. I think it's a little bit hard though. I actually was actually just recently looking. I just saw something recently about this guy, and he was like a CIA like spy, and he was kind of talking about like body language and a couple of different things, and he was kind of talking about how like you do want to be like transparent and like very yeah, just honest, I guess, like especially with the stuff you post on Instagram, because that does have a turnover rate with like connection to the audience and stuff like that, or whoever it may be. But at the same time, they were talking about like how you have like three different lives. It's like your public life, your private life, and then like your secret life. And it's
I
like
saw that
how
video
like
today.
you did. That was fire. Yeah, I saw like he literally yesterday, probably. But like, um, that was like talking about how like your public life is like the life that you show everybody, and like then there's like the private life, which is like your close circle, and then your secret life, which is literally only you, like certain things that you will not share with anybody.
Mm.
Um, but I think I don't know. It's about having like that. I think just it's coming back to what Luch said. It's about balance. Like
Balance.
I
Yeah.
think balance, like in the same way that like you post, you should have balance in the same way that you like consume content. You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
I think we obviously know it's like bad for our retention like rates to like scroll through TikTok all day, because like then we can't sit down for more than 30 seconds and pay attention to something. You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly. Yeah.
but I don't
And I
know.
Yeah.
feel too like I hate it when I'm trying to do something like productive on like Instagram or Snapchat and I go on and then I see something else and it kind of intrigues me. So like I start scrolling and then I forget what the fuck I was trying to do, which was actually like I'm trying to post something and
Bro,
it's
I
like
feel that.
I see one post and I'm like, oh, okay. And then I'm like,
Facts.
fuck, what did I want to do? And I'm like,
Facts.
oh, I was trying to post this at like a certain time or something.
Mhm.
Oh
But
god.
it's just so annoying. Like that's the biggest thing with me too. It's just like
Yeah.
staying focused, like how you said,
Mhm.
Miller.
It's a
It's really
time waster,
tough.
bro. Like
It
it's like
is.
when you especially when you look at when you actually go on the app and you see your screen time and you're like, wow, like holy shit, like you spend, like
Bad.
4, 5, 6, 7 hours like on like some of these social media apps, and it's like, holy shit, like bro, like that could be time being more productive, which I
Absolutely.
always am so annoyed about, because I'm like, what the fuck? Like I just spent a whole ass like hour and a half on TikTok, like, and like I was struggling to do homework, and now I have to like crunch it a little bit more. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I definitely think there's like obviously a healthy amount that you like should consume, but
Yeah. Like
What do you
recently. Oh, sorry.
I was gonna ask, what do you think you could do to like stop that? Like to
Um,
prevent that?
Miller had a good one the other time that we were talking about this in person. He does the screen
screen
time
time lock. Yeah.
screen time lock. And
Uh,
I've recently implemented that because I noticed that I was going on a little bit too much on like social medias and stuff like that. And it was like a reminder in a way to like, yo, like maybe you should cut down a little
yeah.
bit for a few hours
Yeah.
now or something like that. And
Yeah.
it
Because
definitely
you
it
could just
definitely
rip it.
worked. It
Mhm.
works. Like and recently like what I've been doing as well to help me balance a little bit is because I edit a lot with the podcast and then make clips and stuff like
Mhm.
that. I've been trying to do that stuff, but also when I go on social media, I go on for like a little bit, and then the rest of the time I try to use it for like informative stuff. So I watch like informative like YouTube videos, something that's like
Yeah.
interesting on a niche that I like, or also like start reading now every
Yeah.
day. It's like an
That's
obligation now.
fire. Good shit. Good shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've been
I was about
trying
to
to
pick up
like
a book the other day, bro. I'm trying to
yeah,
like get back on it.
bro,
But
it's
I think
nice.
I should.
It's like a book that's like motivation. It's kind of cool. Like I like the way it talks about like um recently just kind of talks about like don't worry about what other people are doing. Like worry about
Mm.
your path and not others because they have their
Yeah.
own path that they're going on and you have your path. If they succeed in something else that you happen to want to succeed in, like you have your own pace to go on. Like you might not
Hmm.
be succeeding in that way. You might like want to you're destined to like succeed in a different manner or a different way and go on a different path. So it's just like just focus on yourself and don't focus
Mhm.
on anyone else, which was kind of cool. But that's what I've been doing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that. That's good. That's really fire to hear, though. That's really sick. It's just a really
Bro,
good
I got a good
habit.
book
Like,
to send you.
oh yeah, what is it?
It's called the Go Giver.
Okay,
This
what's
guy,
it
man,
about?
it's like just it's really business minded in a sense. Like
Yeah, that's what I've been trying to read.
I got you because it's really. I don't want to spoil it because it's really good.
Okay,
It's
bet.
just like giving like secret tips on like how to be successful and how to like shape your mind into not just
Mhm.
thinking about the money as being success, but like how do you contribute to the world and serve other people and
Mhm.
make that part of your successfulness, and eventually it'll start to like come back like the law of
Yeah.
attraction essentially.
Okay, I
You
like
know,
that. I like that
I
because
like
I'm a
that.
and
selfish
it's an
ass
easy like
person.
I was literally up at 2 a.m. and I feel that me too. Like I
Like
really am. I'm
that's
like
why I'm
sitting
like,
here thinking like when is it gonna be my time? When
yeah,
like you know what I
exactly.
mean?
I'm like,
But like yesterday I was up till like I was up at 2 and I was like, let me just open up a page and
yeah.
literally didn't stop until 3 a.m. and I was just like, why am I still
Whoa,
up? Like no bullshit.
fire.
I was
Yeah.
it's an easy read too. Like it's like
Hmm.
144 pages.
Oh, nice.
Like
Yeah.
it's really straightforward and easy to understand. So I was like,
Hmm.
damn, this is awesome.
That's fire. I read this one, but I actually didn't even finish it. But I had only probably like, I don't know, probably only like 60, 70 pages left. But I was reading the Atomic
Finish
Habits,
that
which
shit,
is
man.
I know it's a good book. I mean, it's about like it's pretty much about like how to not procrastinate, and it was about making new habits and how to create and keep good habits and
Mhm.
how you can replace certain habits with other ones and stuff like that. But I was just like, I remember at the time too, like I was just on such BS timing. Like I just like I would procrastinate everything, and I just that's when I wasn't like doing like fully my schoolwork and shit like that. I was like, okay, like something's got to change. Like I got to change my
Yeah.
routine. Like I got to find a study habit because I was just a bad studier, and I'm still like learn or like working on it. But like I've created better study habits through like changing my association with studying and like how I set it up and like how much actual like they talk about like productive work you can get done comparatively to like passive work or in a way like where you have 3 hours of like studying, there's like a whole hour at least sometimes, of you like not really working, but like half working. You check your phone, you check your
Yeah.
thing, or you just like go on YouTube, you watch one video, da da da. So you get like 2 hours of like real work. So like kind of like know yourself, see how much time like and try to like reduce that like rough time and then like kind of hone in, make it a shorter study time, but literally just lock in and just do that multiple times. And that was just like an easier route for me at least because like I just couldn't sit down in one place for like ever type of deal.
We could all agree reading is a great
Oh,
great
great. Yeah.
Oh, it's
defense
so
to
good.
social media, right?
Yeah,
So
no,
good,
without a
bro.
doubt.
You,
And it's
bro, you
it's knowledge. It's the
you
best
really
It
ROI.
learn.
is. It is.
Really learn.
It is.
Like if you find something that's like interesting to you as well, like it's even
Of
better,
course.
you know?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like I also have other books as well, but they're like a harder read. Like the
Hmm.
vocabulary is like way more advanced.
Hmm.
There's
Yeah.
way more pages, and stuff like that. And that's like, gonna be not gonna be too much of a challenge, but it'd be nice
It's
to
just gonna
know
be
like
harder.
what kind of words those mean. So I'm gonna like
Yeah.
also like look up the words, like what does that mean? So like
Yeah.
connect
It's
more
gonna
and stuff
take a
like
little
that.
longer.
Yeah, she's gonna take a little longer to read, but it'd be
Mhm.
fun.
Yeah.
Can't wait
They
to do
also say
that.
like the ROI, like the return on investment that you get for a book is like it's huge amounts. Like you can buy these books for like $10 to $15 and like the skills you can learn from them like is really endless. And like they always talk about like all these successful people and like that have made millions and like have done it. Like they've done there's a like thousands of different books that have done thousands of different success stories and they've all done it like different ways. You know what I mean? There's
Mm.
you read multiple books and you see what is common amongst a lot of them, but then also like there's a success story for everybody, like so that's why it's like trying to maybe imitate that success story or like with your spin on it obviously, but like how can you do the same thing because these are normal people getting rich, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
So you can learn a lot of skill of like step by step how these people got rich, and you can learn all that. Like that's a lot of just knowledge. Instead of buying a $200 book from college, you buy this $20 book, you know what I mean? And you learn that much more about real life, you know.
Yeah.
Crazy, bro.
But it's hard to read, so I
It
struggle.
is.
I talk that crazy shit, but then I'm like, ooh, maybe we'll read tomorrow.
That's why I try to make sure I read first thing in the morning,
Yeah.
because if I don't
That's
read
good.
first thing in the morning, it's gonna be very hard to read throughout the day.
Yeah.
Or
I set
read
times
at
in my
all in the
schedule.
day.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
good.
I have
That's
like
good.
times like set to read, and like I don't
Yeah.
hit it every single time, but like I try to like at least a little bit. Right now I'm reading like the Starbucks owner, like how he created the Starbucks brand from like a
Mm.
little ass small coffee shop, and how he expanded like his company into the corporation it is today.
Yeah. That's
Wow.
actually awesome.
And that stuff. It's wild too.
What kind of like tips does it give in it? Like, is there anything that you can take out of it so far?
So far, it's kind of just been adversity. It's kind of like it's kind of been about adversity in the first stages. I'm literally just getting past like him opening up like his first couple of shops. So
Mm.
the start of it all, finding a good product that you can like get behind, you know what I mean? Like you can genuinely like not just like selling salt to slugs kind of deal, you know what I mean? Like something that like will have people coming back, something that you actually appreciate and could get behind. Like did so much testing, like a lot of like product testing of like different brands and logos that like did and didn't work. Like some were like, I don't know, some were not liked for different reasons, whatever it may be. But like, yeah, they did like just a lot of like traveling and like bean testing, you know what I mean? But it was
Yeah.
just kind of like just small adversities, like, you know, shops like not performing as well as they, you know, should. And then like they're just losing money like month over month. And then like, should they keep another coffee shop or buy another one kind of deal? Like, so it's kind of tough, but like the expansion of it is like probably the stuff that I don't know about right now, which is like, I mean, like he talked a lot about saving, you know, but like now I'm trying to learn a little bit more about that. Like, how do you expand a company? How do you, you know, scale?
I was gonna go back onto the topic of
Yeah.
kind of like um social media and stuff like that. Because we got a little distracted with
Yeah, just a bit.
our book club.
Yeah, we're such bookworms.
Just some
I love
bookworm.
it.
Yeah.
I
It's
love
not
it.
funny.
And I was like thinking while we were talking about like social media and how it affects us as a society and what personally like what we do. I was also wondering how can social media affect your relationships in that manner?
Mm.
Like
Yeah,
what
that's.
would social media affect
Mhm.
on your side?
Do you want to
I
start with the
think. Yeah, I was gonna.
trust? Do you want to start with the trust issues thing or the relationship? Because they're almost one and the same, but
Yeah, whatever social media affects in your relationships, your
okay.
personal relationships
Actually, I'll
in the
start with the
past,
yeah. I'll
present,
start with like
future.
how it has been in my relationships, and then like just the trust issues of what comes with that. Because so pretty much like I mean, my experience has been like nothing too crazy because I've not always been one to use social media a lot, but at the same time, like I have run into a problem with like an ex-partner of like, oh, why are you liking this girl's picture? Like she's like looking like kind of scandalous or something. And I'm like, well, like that is a person that's more of like just a celebrity, you know, and it's not like that is, you know, my like feed anyways. Like it's like there's 100 posts. She sees one slide by and it's like probably from a meme account as well. Like sometimes, you know, sometimes might be jacking, but like at the same time, sometimes. So I was like, I literally would see like she would like saw something or she followed somebody famous, like Emily like Ratajkowski or whatever. Like,
Oh,
do you know what I'm talking? Bad, exactly. So she was like, she posted something. It was like, not OD, but she's like, "Why'd you like her picture though?" And I'm like, the
The same reason
celebrity in Hollywood, LA?
the same reason she likes everyone else's picture. Like,
That's exactly. And I was like, what's the difference between me liking and then not liking the picture if I just see it? Like I could, she was like, oh, like it just feels like you really like it. Like, and you just really like, you really like that picture. I'm like, bro, like I could,
like you double tapped 5 times.
bro, she literally, she's like, yeah, like you're, bro, actually, no, she was just straight on shit, bro. I remember, yeah. Bro, bro, I literally, oh my God, this is wild. Actually, I might be exposing myself. Literally, like I remember one time, like I on my life, I had seen, and it was like someone like we were cool with or something like that, or not like too crazy, but we knew them, and I just saw her post or whatever, and like she was just far away in the post, and I just zoomed, and I was like just a little zoom, nothing crazy, and it wasn't at any area crazy. I was literally just trying to see her face, like under a hat type deal, bro. She flipped. She's like, "Really? In front of me?" I'm like, "What?" I was like, "I'm blind. Like, what do you want from me?" And she's like, "Okay, so no. I know what you were looking at." No, that's honestly that's probably what you're looking at when we hang out with her. Like you're probably just staring. And I'm like, bro, like this is gone OD. Like I swear to God, it was not that serious, and you're just taking this out of like context. But yeah, I fought for my life on social media. That's why I don't like it. That's
I
why I
fought
don't
for my
like it.
life.
So so
Like fuck, man. And you wonder why I don't pop up. Like, come on now.
I I think that relationships can sort of sometimes knock you off your game if you're like posting a lot on social media because it takes like your time away if you allow it to. But if you are like really into posting and really like into like keeping it a business, like I think it shouldn't get to you.
Well,
If
yeah,
like I said, if that's what you want.
you're right.
Because honestly, there was a time when I was posting a lot, but then I just kind of coasted. I don't think it was because I was like getting into something, but I think it was just because I started getting a little comfortable
Hmm.
with my situation, and um, I just don't like social media as it is. But I was trying to
Hmm.
be, a little more open minded to it and using it and trying to build a fan base and everything.
Hmm.
But like I saw that one opportunity to like kind of coast, and I let the relationship kind of like affect me in that sense. So I think that's how girls can affect it sometimes, but it's just whether you allow it to.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree. I think I liked your point of like maybe more on like, how much you're into it with like good and bad comments and how they affect you. But I was gonna say like to bounce off of that, like I feel like you would also be very surprised. I feel like a lot of people say that, but then like even the biggest YouTubers, like they still talk about like seeing, random stuff online and like how it affects them. So even the biggest YouTubers can get like affected by that. So I think it's like even though like I think if you think about it in a business sense, it's like good, but like it's also like having the reviews of your product on your page. You know what I mean? Because you're selling yourself as your brand, whether it's just your
Mm,
business, like it's pretty much like someone shitting on your business. You know what I mean? Like it's still a form of hate, and like I still think that that can affect you, and then to bring it back to what we're actually talking about, like that could affect your like relationship with somebody else or just your like
mm,
personal like mental health. So like I do think that
yeah.
like I don't know, insecurities probably even too, if someone's like, oh yo, like that motherfucker Miller got the fucking craziest nose I've ever seen in my life, and like maybe it wasn't a thing or maybe it was a thing, but then all of a sudden I'm like,
Kind of got you thinking.
yeah, exactly. It got me thinking or something like that. And then like you're like, oh, like I need a nose job, like or something. You know what I mean? Because then
Yeah,
you
I
see
can
all the
see that.
social media people, like when they make money and they get successful, like the girls get like boob jobs and like BBLs and like get their lips done and shit like that. And then, you know, so I think
I
it's just
think I think any business too, like you have to like kind of ignore people that say shit because essentially everyone's gonna say shit, especially when you're successful. Like if they're not saying shit, you're not successful enough. You know what I mean?
You're right.
But at the same time,
So with social media, like how it's affected my past relationships and the way I view it now. Like in the past, definitely a bit rocky with social media, how my ex-girlfriends would get a little annoyed from time to time, or I would get a little annoyed from time to time. It would either be like me not posting them a lot, or that's just me being like, pretty.
You.
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
just like, I generally don't post that much either, but
Yeah.
I did my best to post them more, make
Yeah.
them happy, and also probably, like your situation there, Miller, as well, liking pictures that I probably shouldn't have liked, and then obviously stopped and on actually, like, I would unfollow them and all that stuff. Like I would, like,
Yeah.
unfollow girls off my feed, um, and
to show you're
everything.
trying.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
because like it's just stuff that, I'm used to just going down the feed, and like, I know them, they're my friends, so like like it, support, because I like to
Mhm.
get likes back as well in some manner, or
Mhm.
like if I post anything, just to be nice or whatever, but kind of stopped caring about what other people wanted and cared what like I wanted to do and what I wanted
Yeah.
to get out there. And I started to like fall more in love with like social media posting, and like getting more into like pictures and like posting videos and stuff like that, and just getting more like out there. Once I started like feeling my own self, and feeling like what I wanted to do. Um,
Mhm.
but I can see like the aspect of like trust issues, and guys going into girls' DMs, um and them not telling you about it or something like that. But yeah, it can definitely affect relationships if you let him affect you, if you let
Mhm.
social media take over your life in some manner. And I could
Well,
definitely see that side.
actually, just to actually say that I was actually in the opposite. It's funny that you say that. It was like because you cared too much about social media, where like I
Yeah.
actually had the same problem as you, but it was because I didn't care enough. And like in the same way that like I wasn't posting like my girl that much, and like I kind of like she was asking why and stuff like that. Like I didn't post anyways. Like I barely posted
Mm.
once a year. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't that big of a deal to me. But at the same time, like I didn't care about it, but I think in the opposite way, like since she did care about it, like then it made me think like I remember just kind of just like going through it and I'm like, bro, if I don't care about it at all, like I also should not be like making a big deal about it if I don't care about it. Like why
Yeah,
not just do the small thing that I don't care about to make her happy because it's a bigger deal to her. You know what I mean? So like then I obviously just like I started just giving in and like, it was cool anyways, you know what I mean? It's not like I minded, but it was just something that like I also have to like had to like in a way push myself to do a little bit. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm just like, oh, it feels like a good day to post my girl. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's just not what I think about doing. Like, you know what I mean? So I don't know, it's different, but
I feel
I
that.
don't know. It's
I
funny though.
think I think she has to be kind of important though in order for do to do that because if she just like comes into your life and is like asking like, oh, why don't you post me? Why don't you
Oh
post
no, that's
me?
crazy.
It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah, that's
I
wild.
don't post anyways. Like chill
Yeah.
out. You're not that.
Yeah. Chill out, random.
You don't have it like that. But I was gonna ask before you were talking about reviews and stuff. Like
Mhm.
when people like go on your profile and stuff.
Yeah.
I was wondering, do you guys like leave those negative comments there, but like don't
No.
interact with them, or do you like take them out
Oh,
like
do you
automatically, like delete
I
them?
me personally, I first of all like I would leave those comments there. I thought you meant like do I comment negative things?
Oh
Um,
no.
yeah, but no, but I mean I leave it like honestly, like I let the little piranhas just eat each other alive, honestly. Like let them fight, you know what I mean? If there's some dumb shit in the comments, there's gonna be some other white knight that thinks he's literally my saving hero and he's like, "Don't talk about that. That's wrong." And it's just like I don't know, let them fight, let them eat.
Usually, like I
I
usually
was
have like the boys comment something stupid, or
Fendi.
they like start roasting my ass in the comments.
Yeah,
I just let it be, like
facts.
it's
It's
just like
funny.
whatever. But it is funny. It's funny to see.
I was asking because do you guys know the rapper La Russell or
No,
do you know Toby Nwigwe?
no.
No.
All right, so they're getting pretty big right now. They're both independent artists, and
Oh.
they were just saying like they don't have like the space for like the negative comments. Like if they see it, they'll just like delete it because it's almost like I remember Russell said you wouldn't have someone come in your house and just dirty up the place, like have their feet all over the counter,
Oh,
like all that
Okay, I
shit. You know
kind of
what I
like
mean?
that. I kind
And
of
when you
like
think
that.
of it like that, it's almost like yeah, you do
it's
have to
different
like
though.
clean.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
but also like Miller was saying before, like people come in and they look at those comments, they look at the reviews, you know what I mean, like of what people are saying.
Yeah,
Are you gonna leave those
true,
negative reviews there? And like
true.
even if you don't interact with them or anything, like it's still someone coming in your house and just like, or do you think of it like that?
I think it's just jokes.
Yeah, I think. Well, I
I
think
guess.
any
Well,
Well,
I
for
like
don't
you,
get
it's
bad
different.
negative,
publicity.
I guess, you
Yeah,
know.
That's what I
but
understand.
bad
I
publicity
don't
is
even
good
get
publicity.
negative.
You know what I mean? Like kind of what we were
That's
saying
true.
earlier. Like honestly, like if there is something bad, like either like if someone says like a comment about me that's bad, they say like I'm ugly or like, something about like maybe my content, and I'm like, all right, like, you know, maybe someone else doesn't have that opinion. They're like, oh, like they're saying his content's bad. Like, I don't know, like for what, bro? Like, I literally just watch the clip because you watch the clip and then go to the comments usually, within
Hmm.
like the same motion sometimes. But like, I was like, I think someone would be like, bro, you're bugging. You know what I mean? Like something to like go combat that, Or honestly, me personally, I do like those like Twitter people like that go in, or like even Instagram, but any type of social media, but like celebrities that go in on random haters. I low key love that. Like, cause the hater just thinks you're gonna be a random little like shithead on the internet, just
Typing behind the
this is so weird, annoying, you
screen.
ugly, you so weird. And then like the person like goes back, like goes into their profile, like looks at their profile picture, and they're like, "You
Exposes
are
his
talking
ass.
to me? Ugh, oh my God, out of Scottsdale, Arizona? Oh my God, I would be embarrassed to be in the same classroom as him. And you do My Little Pony reviews? Like, boy, who are you talking to? Like,
My
I
Little
love seeing
Pony.
that. So I would roast some people in the comments and just I would stir the pot, honestly. I'd be eating that shit up, honestly.
I like that. You gotta confront the negativity.
Mhm.
That's a good one.
And it could be constructive criticism at the same time. You know what I mean? I
That's
think
true.
everybody should be
Absolutely.
able to take that. Opinions are opinions for a reason. Like it's just different perspectives.
Hmm. Absolutely. I actually saw today, I don't know if you guys know about Dylan Brooks on the Memphis Grizzlies. Like
Oh,
after
I just saw that.
after the first game or first couple of games against the Lakers, he was like saying
You-
that he doesn't respect LeBron because he hasn't scored 40 on him, and he was like calling him old because Memphis won like both games, I think,
Yeah.
when they first played the first two games. And after he said that, fast forward, the Lakers win the series, and now Memphis literally says
Put
we
out
will
a
not be signing Dylan Brooks under any circumstances. We will not
yes.
be we will not be re-signing Dylan Brooks under
He's
any
yeah.
circumstances
Any
because he
circumstances
was
is crazy, bro.
like
Everybody's like joking on him. They're like he's going back to China, like going back to
like
like he was in the pro leagues for like 6 years and he's like going back.
the thing is though, like he was really saying some dumb shit about LeBron. He was like, he's old. I don't respect him until he drops 40 on me. And he was like
Yo,
saying
that
with these
interview was
dumbass
actually
glasses on
mad
and
funny, yo. I did see that. Nah, that was actually crazy. That
I
was
think he
crazy.
deserved that. I
He
think
definitely
deserved
deserved
because
that. He
he's
said-
talking
yeah,
some
he's old.
bullshit,
Yeah.
and now he just got booted by his own
Yeah.
organization.
Bro, exactly. Like you're the last person to be saying that. Like you don't even have a spot on the bench, bro.
He doesn't. I don't think he has a ring either.
No, he doesn't. And he's also
It's just
old, I
wild.
feel like.
No, he's relatively young.
Oh, he just has.
Yeah, he's an okay spark sometimes for the Memphis for the Grizzlies,
Mhm.
but like he's not
Not that
even
guy.
close to. He's not even close.
Yeah, yeah. Funny though.
Not even like top 50. in the league.
Jesus. Yeah. No, it's a tough go.
Dang,
that was
he's
funny.
down bad. But you guys want to end it off there?
Yeah, I think that'd be a good spot.
We're gonna start implementing some live callers in our podcast or live questions. So we'll be doing some Q&As throughout the week at random times. So make sure to look out for that on Instagram and maybe Snapchat. Yeah. Just look out for some
Yeah.
questions, all right? And make sure to have some questions ready for us. And I think that will end the podcast, guys. What do you guys think?
Mhm. Yeah, no, so
All right.
Perfecto.
All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoy. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check out our handles. Check out our merch down below in the link in the description.
Mhm.
And don't forget to check out Jay Tremendous as well. This guy
Of course.
is a beautiful singer. He's very special to
Thank
me.
you.
And I hope you guys listen to him. And thank you,
Got
Jared,
some new stuff coming out.
for putting out so much music
Mhm.
out there. And so consistently.
Oh,
Is it back?
it was that kind of message. Now we got some new shit coming out, but thank you, Lush, for that great,
Yeah, there's stuff coming. There's stuff coming. Don't worry
great
about it.
sarcasm.
Oh
Jesus
God.
Christ.
No, I do love it. I do
love.
love Jared's music. I actually have him on a few playlists of mine. So make sure to check out Jay Tremendous. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Peace.
Say my name is